Hey guys, Dr. Jim Stoppani here, and hopefully today we are minus the technical difficulties. Everything seems to be working pretty well right now, so I could be wrong, but it looks good. So today I just want to announce, for those of you who haven't seen the post, the Paid Forward Friday post that I made on my Facebook, and my Twitter and Instagram, that today is a special Paid Forward Friday because it's the 1-year anniversary since I've been doing this weekly promotion. And for those of you who are familiar with Paid Forward Friday, you know that every Friday I select a few winners on my Facebook page to win gym products as well as Gym Army gear. So let me see. I'm just checking my. I've got a fax coming in and some messages coming in. So I think I'm all good. So back to the Pay For It Friday. So today, what I'm actually going to do here live on the Google chat is we will pick 5 winners. And they'll be from the questions. So the first 5 questions that I select, you guys, if I say your name, you guys will win. The first 2 will win runner-up prizes, which will be a free gym t-shirt of your choice. We have several different shirts. You see, this is the new V-neck version. I also have the gym with the war one on the back as well, and the JYM Supplement Science one. So your choice of t-shirts, your choice of gym hat, baseball hat or the beanie hat, and gym shaker cup, and of course the gym key fob, leather weight belt key fob as well. So those will be the first 2 questions that I read. And then the next 3 that I read will be the sort of ultimate prize winners, and they will get the a free gym system, which is pre-gym, post-gym, and pro-gym of their choice of flavors. So let's start. First question, and this is coming from Kyrillis Favi. Let me spell your name so you know it's you. Kyrillos Fathy. Now, you're going to want to email JYM Supplement Science, JYM Giveaway, so JYM Giveaway, GIVEAWAY @gmail.com to get your prize. So make sure you do that. Now, his question is, hello, doc, which is better protein type after workout if I'm not using supplements? Would it be egg, like whole eggs, or milk, as in regular milk? I know both are good, but I read the egg is the most bioavailable protein, and also milk contains both whey and casein. So which one is better after workout? Please explain. Well, that's a great question. So if for some reason you weren't using ProGym, remember ProGym is going to deliver both whey, casein, and egg. You could, as your second best option, is to actually consume another source of whey and casein, and if you want, egg. So milk would be the best option here. And eggs, you can even have both if you want. The problem with milk, however, is that per cup, per 8-ounce fluid ounces, you're only getting 8 grams of protein. So for every ounce, you're getting 1 gram of protein. And you should be getting a good 40 grams of protein post-workout because you want to have adequate amount of amino acids to actually build protein adequately following your workout. At least a bare minimum would be 20 grams, but ideally somewhere in the 40 gram range, or even more for some people, depending on how big you are. But let's say it was even just trying to get 20 grams. So that would be basically you would need almost 3 cups of milk. That would get you, 3 cups of milk would get you 24 grams of protein, basically, assuming that there's 8 grams per cup. So that's 24 ounces of milk. Now, there's also 12 grams of carbs per cup or per 8 ounces of milk. So you're also getting 36 grams of carbs, which is great post-workout. However, depending on your diet, depending on your lactose tolerance, milk might not be the best option, but it's definitely a viable option for you because, like I said, it's providing you the protein and it's providing you the carbs, which you want post-workout. You just need to consume a lot of it. So when you actually break it down, price-wise, versus a mixed protein powder that's not amino spiked, of course, that isn't lying on the label. ProGym is the best example here. You know it's not spiked. You know the exact amount of protein, and you know the exact amount of protein from each of those sources, the whey, the casein, and the eggs. It's really, not that much more, affordable to just going with milk because it's going to take a lot of milk. Like I said, if you want to get close to 40 grams there, you're going to have a good 5 cups of milk. That's a lot of milk. You go through a lot of milk. And you're going to get a ton of carbs, which isn't a bad thing post-workout, but it could add up. Another question I get on the milk thing, you guys know I have to go on a rant here, just can't answer the question in the simplest form, but most people have mentioned that they do love this because you get a little more information here. Is the question is, should I go with skim milk or low fat or whole milk? Which is another great question because you would think, oh, we'll go for the skim because you don't want to get too much fat. Actually, what research has shown when they're comparing milk and the types of milk post-workout, and this research, particular research, one study at least was done at University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston. And for those of you who don't know what that is, this is Wolf's lab. For those of you who don't know how important this lab has been to our understanding of muscle protein synthesis after workouts, they basically led the field for many years. As a matter of fact, they offer for researchers a week-long course on how to do the tracer methodology, which is how you measure. I won't bore you with that, but I actually was down in Galveston studying this week-long course. And as well, I have many colleagues who were at the University of Texas Medical Branch. So, very, very important research coming out of this lab. The researchers have since moved on to other labs, but there are still some great researchers still at UTMB. Now, what's the better protein, the better milk? Is it skim milk? A lot of people would guess it's skim or whole milk. And what they found was that the whole milk actually increased muscle protein synthesis better than using skim milk. And a lot of people would think, well, that's quite, you would expect the opposite because with less fat, maybe it goes, faster through you get a faster digestion, gets amino acids faster. And this is the point, and again, I'm going to go on another rant here right off of this rant. So go with whole milk, actually, or at least low fat, get some fat. And remember, when it comes to milk, here's another rant, you want to go with organic milk. You want to use organic if you can. Anytime you're consuming dairy products or beef products, the best thing is grass-fed. Second best thing is organic. And both these sources, particularly the grass-fed, have higher omega-3 fats, higher CLA fat, as well as higher vitamin E and other vitamins, and you don't have to worry about the drugs, like the antibiotics used, or the growth hormones and whatnot in your food source. Now, that doesn't mean that, and so I'm piling up my rants here because there's a lot to discuss here. That doesn't mean that a organic protein powder is better than a standard protein powder, because when you're talking about protein powders now, it's no longer milk. Yes, it's just the milk source, but when you're talking about a protein powder, you're basically talking about this protein that's been isolated out of the milk. Okay, when we get down to that level of processing, to get down to the, just those lengths, those chains of protein, the benefits of organic or grass-fed are gone, because most of the benefits are in the healthy fats, and now you've stripped all the fat away from the milk. The vitamin E, that's mainly gone. And, any concerns about antibiotics have basically been filtered out in the process. So don't waste your money on organic protein powders. It's silly. Spend your money on organic, like I said, grass-fed dairy products, meaning whole food, milk, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or skyr, which is Icelandic, a form of Greek yogurt where they only use grass-fed cows. It's even better than Greek yogurt, if you can find it, spelled S-K-Y-R. Now I'm forgetting my rants here, but definitely go with a either low-fat or whole milk, but make sure it's at least organic, because you're going to get some fat, and you want to make sure you maximize the amount of omega-3 fats and the CLA fats that you're getting. Those are, the omega-3 fats are essential, and the CLA is a very important, healthy fat. Most of you know I recommend supplementing with CLA as well as fish oil for the omega-3. So make sure you do that. Like I said, it's, it's surprising for most people, because you would think that having fat, we used to think, oh, you should try to avoid fat post-workout because you want to have the fastest protein source. But now that we know, and the reason why I created ProGym the way it is that fast is good, okay? Whey protein is good. You have that fast source. That gets in there and spikes the protein. So it spikes your protein synthesis. But you need the slow case in there to maintain the muscle protein synthesis for longer. And that's what the research shows. When you have that casein in there, it maintains it for longer. Well, that fat tends to be important as well, because it also is going to slow it down and extend it for longer. So when people ask me about how come I don't have any hydrolyzed whey in my ProGym, and my point is, you don't need it's not about faster is better any longer. Yeah, you need some whey. Whey isolate, the whey isolate that I have in ProGym is fast. That's as fast as you really, anything faster, no real benefit. It's really about having that slow component now. So you want to get a little bit of the fast whey, but you want to have more of that slow casein to prolong the muscle protein synthesis. That's where the true benefit is in these mixed protein sources. So I think I've covered all my rants. Let's get back to the original question. Milk would be a better source than the eggs. So then you say, well, why is egg considered more bioavailable? Well, just because it's more bioavailable, meaning that the body can use more of it, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to spike muscle protein synthesis and be as anabolic as a milk source. And so the best combination, if you don't have ProGym, would be to drink milk and eat eggs. But don't even just eat the egg whites. You could eat the whole eggs. Fat is not the problem. And the cholesterol from now I'm going to go off on another end. The cholesterol from eggs is important. As a matter of fact, research shows that when they put subjects on a diet while they're following a weight training program, and they're eating either 3 whole eggs or just egg whites, the group that's eating the whole eggs almost doubles their gains in muscle size and strength than the group consuming the egg whites, not getting the yolks. Turns out it's likely, well, the fat is important too, but it's likely also from the cholesterol. And everybody thinks, well, cholesterol is bad. You want to limit your cholesterol. Well, there's been studies on just cholesterol where they put same kind of study, subjects on a weight training program. They put one group on a low cholesterol diet. They put another group on a higher cholesterol diet. And the group getting the higher cholesterol diet actually gains better muscle size and muscle strength. And the reason is that cholesterol is actually its beneficial components. It's absolutely essential for the integrity of cell membranes. And that's basically what encapsulates your cell. And I know whenever I say cell, I sort of hold up the circle. If you think of like an egg being a cell, round cells, what we look at in biology, muscle cells are not, they're literally look like a strand of hair, long and thin. But that's the cell. I'm just using this as a stupid example. It maintains the membrane of that muscle cell, the thing that encases the muscle, and then that tends to be critical for the function of your muscle cells, your muscle fibers. So I hope you guys sort of followed me along on that explanation with all those rants going on there. But I hope that made sense. So milk is definitely a better choice. Would even be better to consume the egg as well. Then you have the fast whey from the milk, the very slow casein from the milk, and the egg protein in the middle as your medium digesting protein source. Much like the way I formulated ProGym. Here is a question from Marcelo Sagredo, Marcelo, last name Sagredo. Now remember, as I said, you want to email gymgiveaway@gmail.com because you're the second runner-up prize winner today. So you get the choice of a gym shirt, gym t-shirt, gym shaker cup, which I'm sipping on my pre-gym, which is my energy drink during the day, as well as my pre-workout. Your gym blender bottle shaker cup, and your choice of gym baseball cap or beanie, and of course the key fob and the gym sticker that we'll send out to you. So send it in, and congrats for winning, Marcelo. His question is, Dr. Jim, yesterday my doctor asked me if I protect my liver, and Marcelo spelled it lever, L-E-A-V. I'm pretty sure he means liver, L-I-V-E-R, against all the supplements. What about that? I use Gym System and want to know about it. Well, I can tell you, if you're using Gym products, there's no ingredient in there that's going to put your liver at risk. So there is no need to take liver protecting supplements. Like milk thistle, for example, is a popular one due to the active component in there, which works. It actually does work quite well. There's a few others, but as long as you're taking, and like I said, I can only speak for gym supplements, but supplements in general aren't taxing on the liver. If you're taking something where you don't know about what the stimulants are in there, remember there was a company that was actually lacing their product with a form of amphetamine, yeah, that would be a problem for your liver. Other things are high dose NSAIDs, with non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, even Tylenol to some degree, although Tylenol tends to be a bit safer, but ibuprofen, those types of NSAIDs, if you're using a lot, can have put the liver at some risk, because the liver basically is going to detox those drugs, to metabolize those drugs to help get them out of your system, and also in any recreational drugs as well. Anabolic steroids is a huge issue for your liver, so that would be one reason to use a liver supplement to help. Now, a testosterone booster, and again, I can only speak for gym products. Alpha Gym You do not have to worry about, it's not like taking steroids. Alpha Gym naturally increases your testosterone levels and your free testosterone while helping to lower your estrogen to testosterone ratio, and also helping your body defend against DHT levels, which is dihydrotestosterone, against the likelihood of prostate issues and even male pattern baldness. Not the same thing as anabolic steroids. Some testosterone boosters I can't speak for because some of them are laced with stuff that we don't even know what's in there. And some of the ingredients are very questionable, pro-hormones and pro-steroids, etc. But if you're using a product like ProGym, it's not the same as anabolic steroids. If someone is using anabolic steroids, then yes, that could be a reason to take a liver protecting supplement. And the other thing is alcohol. And if look, if you drink, you have a few drinks here or there throughout the week, no big deal. If you drink a lot and excessively, then you might want to consider it. Or if you like binge drink on the weekend, like, I went to college, I had my days. It's not a bad idea to take a supplement before as well as after the binge drinking session to help your liver sort of metabolize the alcohol without having any issues. So those are really the only reasons. If you're using actual safe supplements like the JYM system, there's no reason to worry about protecting your liver. So let's move on to another question here. Now we're going to get the next three will be grand prize winners, so you guys will win the JYM system. Let me find some good ones. Here's one, and this is a very common question I get about skin and excessive weight loss. So Zach Green, and I probably don't need to spell that, Zach, Z-A-C-K, and green like the color. You just won one of the 3 grand prizes. You've got a JYM system, so be sure to email JYMgiveaway@gmail.com. And congrats, Zach, and thank you for putting in a question and attending the Google Hangout with me. It says, hey, Jim, I lost 100 pounds a couple of years ago. First off, congratulations. Absolute wonderful news to make a transformation like that. Many of us know it's not a simple task losing even 20 pounds of body fat. So for someone who's able to lose 100 pounds, the dedication that goes into that and the hard work, that's absolutely incredible, and very, very proud of you, Zach. So I lost 100 pounds a couple of years ago and have kept it off since. I am a month into your Shortcut to Size program and loving the results. I notice a difference already. My question is that I still have some excess skin still around my stomach and some stretch marks. The skin is pulled back some, but I don't know of any suggestions you might have. Thank you. The sort of rundown I give on loose skin is that the older you are, the harder it is. So that's one strike going against you. Skin elasticity as we age really drops. So the older you are and you lose the fat, the less likely your skin is going to shrink back. The amount of time you were overweight, the longer you were overweight. So if you were overweight for 20 years and then suddenly lost 100 pounds, you have less likelihood than someone who was overweight for 2 or 3 years. And then the amount of weight that, you were overweight. So if you were, 50 pounds, you have far better chance of the skin going back than someone who was 100 pounds overweight. And, well, it's actually a fourth factor, and that's genetics. genetics play a huge role in maintaining elasticity of the skin and just really overall how elastic the skin is from the start. So sadly, like I said, the older you are, the longer you were overweight for, and the more you are overweight, the less likely that the skin will just bounce back and no one will be able to tell that you were overweight and you have all that loose skin. So you may, oftentimes in excessive cases, people are severely overweight, and 100 pounds, that's a lot. That's so unfortunate because, here's someone who, really got with it, wanted to do the right thing for their health, for their physical health, for their mental health, because, you feel like a whole new person. It changes everything about you, yet you're still left with this sort of, baggage, if you will, seriously, that you just can't get rid of. And it's very, very depressing if you, really made this huge transformation and you still have this skin. So I definitely feel for those who have that issue. I literally have, excess skin myself. You could see on my arms and that wasn't body fat. That was just from, muscle when I was, much younger, and my arms were even bigger than they are now. So, it's one of those things. It's nothing that hangs, but it's definitely, that skin is there. And like I said, now that I'm 47, it's less likely it's just going to snap back. Someone like, for those of you who know Justin Cam, who's a very popular Gym Army member, he lost 100 pounds, but he was in his young 20s when he lost it. He wasn't someone who stayed overweight and well into his 30s. He knew right away that he went overboard with his diet, with his activity, and he got right to it. So, and don't quote me on this, but you can ask Justin on Twitter or on Facebook and even Instagram how long. But I think it was just a few years during his late teenage years where he basically says he was playing video games and eating, donuts and fast food. If you look at his photos now, you would never know. You would never know he was 100. You would no idea he was 100 pounds overweight. No loose skin whatsoever. So he's one of the lucky ones. No stretch marks. And the same for the stretch marks are also very much a genetic factor. You can look at females who get pregnant, and some of them, carry twins. Their stomachs are huge, and they have no stretch marks. Another woman is carrying, gives birth to like a 6-pound baby, which is on the smaller side, shows, but isn't, excessively showing, and has massive stretch marks. It's really just about, your genetics and your skin's ability to stretch and maintain that elasticity and come back. And in the case of stretch marks, without causing those sort of micro tears that happen and cause that stretch mark. So again, with the excess skin, it usually comes down to surgery. With stretch marks, there's nothing. I'm no expert on stretch marks. I have a ton of stretch marks on my shoulders and arms, chest area. I've tattooed over most of them, so many of you probably can't see them. But before I had tattoos, those were for bodybuilders in that area, not on your stomach, obviously. Those because I get that question too. I have stretch marks on my shoulders and chest, and what I say and what many other guys who lift reply to these people is, those are your it's basically your badge of honor. It shows that you've trained and you've grown, and it's essentially a good thing when you really think about it, because it means you're getting results, and pretty fast results. But again, there's a sort of genetic component to it. Some of them get excessive stretch marks, others get no stretch marks whatsoever. But there's no real, if you look up, I think there's some creams that some people recommend, but they really provide minor help. My recommendation is just tattoo it. So obviously that's not for everyone, but that, that's pretty much my recommendation. So I hope that, Zach, I hope that helped. Like I said, focus on the accomplishment that you made, not on the loose skin. Give it some more time. Like you said, you did see some, you did see some of the pullback from the skin. It's shrunk a bit. So, maybe in a little longer, give it a little more time. It will go back. If not, like I said, surgery is an option, and it works very well. And it's, and for that type of surgery, it's not an extreme type of surgery, but it is probably the best option. But like I said, wait, and your doctor will be able to help you as well figure that out, if it's something you should wait on, or if it's something that you definitely should do. Okay, let's look for, I'm trying to find some good ones that will sort of hit for everyone here. Okay, here's one from Dustin Jones. So Dustin, I don't think I need to spell that one out. You are the second grand prize winner. So go to jimgiveaway@gmail.com. Email that, I mentioned your name on the Google Hangout, and that you want to collect your JYM system. Mention what flavor of pre-JYM, what flavor of pro-JYM, and what flavor of post-JYM that you prefer, as well as the best shipping address for you. And he says, I want to start Shortcut to Shred, but I work out before I go to work from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. Now that's dedication. Someone who's willing, people always say, oh, I don't have any time. Dustin's finding time, okay? So applause to Dustin for finding the time to do this. If you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. He's training from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. I was wondering what order to take the supplements, since I get up and go straight to the gym, only 20 minutes in between, and can't follow your program exactly after I work out. I can follow, just wondering what your input would be. Since I work 10-hour shifts from 6 to 4:30 and have to leave town at 4:30 to work on time. So for anyone who's training in the morning, the diet and the supplement plan are very similar. But what I will recommend, so that you have this on, right in front of your face in black and white, versus me just sort of telling this to you for all those details, is go to my JYM Supplement Science.com and click on the Supplement Facts tab. If you go to the how to take the JYM system, I have an article there. You go through all the articles in the Supplement Facts section. You'll see an article on how to stack all my pre-JYM products, and it basically breaks it down for you by if you train in the morning, if you train, say, at lunchtime, like your lunch break, if you train for right before dinner, let's say after work or after school, then you train, then you go home and have dinner, or if you wait till your day's done, you've had your dinner, and then you train at night. So I give you all 4 options, and that's, if you look at most of, like my Dieting 101, I also do that. And even my Muscle Building Rules program for mass gaining, I break it down so that you can see each example. Unfortunately, with bodybuilding, I'm the only one in that one example, and then that's why, that's one of the more common questions I get, which is why I wanted to take Dustin's question, because so many people ask. So what do you do if you train in the morning? It's very simple. If you're using the JYM system, which I highly recommend, if you're not, look at all the feedback on Twitter, on Facebook, and on my Instagram on how well the system works. Basically, what you want to do is you want to wake up and start with literally immediately as you wake up, get your pre-gym in. First thing, get out of bed, mix up your pre-gym, and have pro-gym. So you're going to do your pre-gym and your pro-gym, and depending on your diet cycle, have a piece of fruit as well. And that's something, you can bring that with you in the car or however you travel to the gym. You can do all that. Or if you want to do it at home, just remember with pre-gym, you want to make sure you shake it up well. Let it, mix for a good 15 minutes and sip on it slowly. You can mix them together. So this is why I want to take this, because we can touch on a lot of common questions I get. A lot of people ask, which order should I take pre-gym and pro-gym in? It doesn't matter. You can wake up and take the pro-gym and then the pre-gym. You can wake up and take the pre-gym and the pro-gym. You can wake up and mix them in one shaker cup. If you saw my recent post that I did on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, I was asking you to guess what flavor I was testing, which is orange mango. Now, orange mango, the reason I wanted to do an orange, and I was hoping to do just a pure orange, so that when you mix it with vanilla, it made like a creamsicle or an orange Julius. However, because pre-gym is it's a 26.5 gram dose of active ingredients, 13 ingredients, and if you want to break down the branched chain amino acids individually, it's 15 ingredients, all at proper doses. Very difficult to flavor that. Very, very difficult. As a matter of fact, I'll get to another question, which is, why not have an unflavored one? Then you just put it in your pro-gym, and the flavors, don't make a crazy mixture like cherry limeade and chocolate cookie crunch. Probably not the best mix. However, some people do like that. Some people also like the raspberry lemonade with the chocolate cookie crunch, because it's like, the chocolate raspberry cake. It's sort of like that. Or the cherry limeade with the chocolate is like chocolate dipped cherries. Anyway, people have tried all different variants. Some of them love like s'mores with raspberry, For most of us, it doesn't taste that great. I hate mixing pre-gym and pro-gym. I like the flavors individually, so I enjoy them separately. But some people, that's too much fluid. Some people, it takes too much time. Some people, it's just a pain in the ass to be drinking two different shakes. They want it all in one. So, I like the idea of the orange and vanilla because it makes a nice creamsicle or orange Julius. But it's very difficult to flavor pre-gym because of those ingredients, many which are very acidic, creatine hydrochloride and the citrulline malate, at least at those massive doses that I have in there. And remember, the citrulline malate is a 2-to-1. A lot of companies are using a cheap 1-to-2 of their citrulline malate, calling it the same thing as pre-gym. Okay, but I use a 2-to-1, meaning there's 2 times as much citrulline, which is the more critical component. The malate, the malic acid, is also important. It's like I said, you watch my video on citrulline malate versus L-citrulline. Citrulline malate is better than L-citrulline alone because the malic acid provides an energy boosting component. So, but you want to make sure to have far more citrulline than the malic acid. So a lot of companies are using the opposite of what I have, a 1-to-2, meaning there's twice as much malic acid as citrulline, or even a 1-to-1 where it's equal. I've got a 2-to-1 on the citrulline versus the malic acid, far superior ingredient in that ratio. But because of those ingredients, the plain orange just wasn't doing it. It wasn't really a home run as far, I want these to take, for those of you who love the cherry limeade and the raspberry lemonade, these, not only is the supplement, the best performing, delivering real results pre-workout, but it's also one of the best tasting out there. So what I found was that the orange mango actually was a great combination, and that's now my new favorite flavor of pre-gym. And when you mix it with vanilla, it's like a smoothie. It's literally like the best tasting smoothie you've ever had. So in this case, when that comes out, and hopefully I'll get that out to you very soon, hopefully before summer, when you can mix them together. So now you've got your pre-gym and pro-gym all in one shaker cup. Mix it in, grab that with you, start sipping on it in the morning, sip on it while you're driving to work or you're taking the train or subway, whatever, that you go to the gym, and bring like an apple, and you're good. That's what you do before the workout. After the workout, when you train in the morning, then you're going to have your post-gym and your pro-gym with your carbs. Whether those carbs, best option is the post-gym dextrose, which you're going to be getting because you just won the grand prize. You could either mix and this is another question I get as far as the post-gym goes, for people who have the active and the dextrose, the fast carb post-gym, which order do you take those? Well, those you want to definitely want to mix together, because that's why I made them the same flavor. They work great together. So put your post-gym and active matrix and post-gym fast digesting carbs in the same shaker cup. Now you could also have your pro-gym. Either after that you drink the post-gym, or you could do it the opposite. You could drink your pro-gym first, then your post-gym. Or you can make two different shaker cups and sip on them all, alternating, or you can throw them all in the same cup. A lot of people found that the watermelon and the vanilla, watermelon post-gym, vanilla pro-gym works very well. It's like a creamy watermelon. It's excellent. And when the orange mango flavor comes out of the post-gym, you're gonna absolutely love mixing it together. As a matter of fact, I can't decide whether I like at least on the pre-gym side, haven't nailed down the flavor yet for post-gym yet. Just working on the pre-gym because it's a bit harder to flavor. I can't decide if I like the pre-gym orange mango by itself better, or the pre-gym orange mango with the vanilla pro-gym better. They're both that good. So this flavor that I came up with was designed for those who really want to mixed it with the pro-gym together. However, for those of you who still don't want to mix, you just enjoy those flavors separately, it's going to blow your mind how good the orange mango pre-gym is. Trust me. Mark my words right now. Remember watching this when you get it, because you're going to be like, holy crap. I mean, I knew he was saying it was good. I had no idea. Literally is mind-blowingly good. So you mix those. You can, like I said, any order right after you work out. Then anywhere from 30 minutes after you've had that, post-gym and pro-gym supplement, then you're going to have your whole meal breakfast, your whole food breakfast, your, eggs and oatmeal with, whatever you decide to go with. 30 to 60 minutes after that is when you're going to have that. So that's bad. And then you just follow it, the rest of the meal plan from there. So really that's the only tweak. But like I said, make sure you go to the JYMSupplementscience.com page, go to that supplement facts section, and look up, how to stack all the gym products, because I break it down right there for you. And don't worry about the diet. The diet is just there as sort of a placeholder, so you can see where the supplements go within that. That doesn't mean you have to follow that diet, but you can see when you're taking the pre-gym in relation to breakfast, and VitaGym in relationship to lunch or dinner, and ZMA Gym in relation to your pro-gym at night. It breaks it all down for you right there, so you have no questions about it. But of course, you can always get me. If you have further questions, you know how to get me. Twitter is one of the best places. Instagram works, Facebook, but Twitter works exceptionally well for me, because I tend to stay right on top of that and keep that conversation going. All right, so one more question, and the final grand prize winner, and we have 15 minutes, and I have to leave anyway because my daughter is her final basketball game of the season, and they're currently undefeated and are expecting to end the season undefeated as well. Let's see. Here's one from Melissa Jensen on creatine. And this is a common question I get from females, very confused about creatine. So Melissa, yeah, before I tell you you're the winner, because pre-gym and post-gym have creatine in it, yes, creatine is very safe and effective for females. So I'll get to your question in a little more detail, but I just wanted to let you know when you get pre-gym and post-gym, you're getting creatine hydrochloride in there. It's completely safe and very, very advantageous for you. So remember, and this is Melissa Jensen, M-I-L, I'll just spell it out just to make sure, M-I-L-I-S-S-A, Jensen, J-E-N-S-E-N. You're the last grand prize winner. You in the gym system of pre-gym, post-gym, and pro-gym. Pick your flavors. Orange mango, of course, is not available yet, so I would go with the other two that are out there because they're just as great. She says, there's a tremendous amount of buzz going on about creatine right now. From everything I can tell, as long as you follow guidelines and consume adequate water, there's no reason why a healthy female that lifts can't take this. Your thoughts? And that's exactly right, except for the part about consuming adequate water. You want to consume adequate water anyway, not because you're taking creatine. Look, people think that you have to consume adequate water or you're going to get muscle cramps. No, you want to consume adequate water, first off, for health reasons. Okay, you want to consume for, depending on your body weight, most people need about a good gallon a day, some more, depending on how hard they work out and how much sweat they work out. And obviously the climate, the hotter it is, the more sweat, the more you're going to need to replace fluid. So you want to shoot for a good gallon, depending on your, body weight. If you're under 150 pounds, 3/4 of a gallon would suffice. But you want to get enough water for health reasons to stay hydrated. But also with creatine, because it pulls water into the muscle. Now that's good water weight. So that's the reason you want to consume water with creatine, not because it's going to cause muscle cramps. That is a fallacy that's been perpetuated for many years. If you look at the actual research on it, it actually has the opposite effect in athletes. And there's been research done by Greenwood on football players, baseball players, and various other athletes, looking at long-term creatine use during the season and looking at the incidence of cramps, muscle strains, and other injuries. And the creatine, guys that were supplementing with creatine, not only did not have a higher risk of muscle cramps and muscle injuries, but they possibly had at least a trend for a lower risk. So quite the opposite. So it's time to sort of put that stupidity to rest on creatine. And the same thing for liver. People think, oh, well, it's going to tax my liver because it breaks down to creatinine and then my body has to clear that, and creatinine can be a problem. Yeah, very excessive amounts of creatinine. Now, even if you're taking creatine monohydrate, it's not a problem. But what's nice about the creatine hydrochloride is because it's so well absorbed by the body, you need such a significantly lower amount than you do creatine monohydrate. And with pre-gym and post-gym, you're getting 2 grams of creatine hydrochloride before workouts, 2 grams of creatine hydrochloride post-workout. That's just 4 grams a day. It's not going to be taxing on your kidney whatsoever, unless you're, someone who has a severe, compromised kidney. Then that's the only reason that you'd have any concern. So So again, that's not another reason to drink more water. That's the other reason they drink water, so that your kidneys can clear out the creatinine, the breakdown product. So no, it's not a problem. And there's research, plenty of research done on the long-term use of creatine in kidney issues and high protein diets with creatine in the long term. Again, no issues on the kidneys, no issues on any health markers. In fact, there's numerous health benefits shown with creatine, from better brain function. It's been used to help with depression. In fact, one study found that female subjects getting creatine had a better relief of symptoms for depression than those who were getting a typical anti-depressant drug. Creatine has been found to decrease certain markers for heart disease. It's been shown to decrease the risk of Parkinson's, Alzheimer's disease. Then all these brain effects are due to the fact that creatine, few people realize this, is that creatine is a energy molecule. It helps your body create ATP, which is the main energy currency of muscle cells. That's what they use. That's what the muscle cells use to contract when you're in the gym. ATP is basically the energy source that they need, to put it in simple terms. So are your cells in your nervous system, in your brain, and the rest of your nervous system. So when you have creatine, those cells are able to function better and faster, and you can get those neural pathways traveling faster and more efficiently. Few people realize that. Another strange benefit to creatine was that it was found to decrease the risk of sun damage for people who are exposed to the sun. But really, there are no health risks involved with creatine, whether you're a male, whether you're a female, whether you're even a teenager. It's also safe for teenagers, 16-year-old, 14-year-old, even 13-year-olds as well. We get it in our diet from meat and fish and chicken. So your body's already consuming it and metabolizing it and putting it to use. That's why I like creatine hydrochloride, because you only need a small dose to be effective, because it's so efficiently absorbed. So Melissa Jensen, highly recommend creatine, but I even recommend it better when taking with the other ingredients that are also in pre-gym and post-gym, like branched chain amino acids, beta-alanine, betaine. These are also very effective, regardless of your sex. And those of you who have been following me for a while know that my motto when it comes to training female, I get a lot of questions from females saying, do you have any training programs on your website for females? Yes, all of them, because you should train for your goals, not your gender. And it's the same thing when it comes to diet and supplementation. Diet and supplement for your goals, not your gender. So same rules apply for females as they do for males. So there we go. We've got 5 questions, just tad under, about 55 minutes, and we got five winners for Paid Forward Friday. That was a lot. That I love doing that way. We typically do it on my Facebook page, where people submit how they're paying it forward in health and fitness. But this way of paying it forward is that you guys are here listening, asking questions, getting answers for me. And then the paid forward is hopefully you're out there sharing this information when you talk to others in the gym, or you talk to others online, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, simple texting your buddy, your family members, whatnot. Paid forward, pay this this information forward that way so that other people are getting solid advice that they can trust and use and put to use, good use for their health and for their let's call it gains, their results. So thank you guys for attending, making this very popular session here. This is a lot. I'm going to continue doing this weekly because this is, my goal, my main, I see myself as, a lot of people say, oh, I'm, they call themselves entrepreneurs or a fitness expert. I'm an educator. That's really what my passion is and has been forever. It's really educating. That's why I've been, a writer for so many years, getting that information out there, a writer and an editor, because I want people to have information that's backed with, real facts, real science. It works in the lab, it works in the gym, and have it coming from a reliable source. That's really my passion. So that's why I do the Google Hangouts now once a week. That's why I'm so active on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I always have been, always will be, because I want you guys to know you have a reliable source that you can come to when you have questions. This just gives me another format to do that in. It's a fun format instead of just reading a tweet from me or a Facebook post or watching a video. This is live. You get to watch this. And don't forget, it's on Facebook. So people, if you tell people, they said, oh, damn, I wanted to tune in and watch that. Say, well, it's on Facebook. I put the link up. You just go to my Facebook page and find it, and they can watch. And, you get, to listen to questions that hopefully resonate, not just for that one person, which is why I try to pick questions. Once in a while, I'll get one that might be a little more personal, try to answer that. But I try to get questions that really most people tend to have, and those are the common questions that I see time and time again on Twitter and the other social media outlets. So this is just another way of me to reach you guys and help you get that good information, but you got to spread it as well to help educate other people. And then I'm doing podcasts. So right now, what I'm trying to do is gather up several segments so that when I launch the podcast, there it's not just one and then you have to wait a week or so for another one, but that you have a handful of at least 5 different podcasts that you can go through, and while you're waiting for the next one to come up, you can go watch one of the other ones that's already up there, because there's several. So expect to see that soon. You'll hear about that on my social media outlets, where you can go to get it. Like I said, I'll put all that information. Let me just gather a few more sessions before I put it up, and you'll hear it directly from me, where you can go to either view that or watch it. I'm doing it both as a podcast and as a video cast. So you'll be able to see that on my YouTube channel as well. Just another way to get more information. Those ones will be more topic specific. I keep the Google Hangouts to be just sort of a Q&A session. Whatever comes up. I think it keeps it fun. The podcasts will be, you can go through and pick out a specific topic that you're interested in, or that you had questions on, or even if you're not, I'm sure you'll learn something of interest that you can either just, wow, that was really interesting, never knew that, or, oh, wow, now I can put that one to use, even though I didn't know that I was really interested in this area. So trust me, you'll usually get a lot just on my rants alone, as most people will tell you. They're like, oh, I love, you get so much more information when you go off on those little tangents there, because it brings up a lot of other questions that they have. So again, just want to say thank you guys. Really, really appreciate the support you've shown me over all the many years, too many to even admit to. And thanks for always keeping it fun and respectful. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend. And again, congratulations to our Paid Forward Friday winners. I will see you guys next week.